Oh, Gilbert Arenas is at it again. This time it's about what's a generational player. Now, they did a take on it, and he said that Magic Johnson was generational, Kareem was, and Shaquille O'Neal was. And he mentioned that. But he said that Kobe, Steph, and Jokic were not generational. Am I actually? Let me take them one by one. Let me start with Jokic. There have been other great versatile centers. Um, Bill Walton, who just passed, was like kind of like a nod to that. Sabonis was a nod to that. Will Chamberlain was a nod to it. Jokic can shoot crazy outside. He can move. He's like like a robot. He looks like the Michelin Man, like a mummy, but he will bust your butt. I don't know if I'd say he was generational, but he's very talented. He's a great player, so I might can give you that. Kobe Bryant is very polarizing because on one hand he was like the first AI, artificial intelligence of Michael Jordan, and the closest that you could see that mimic, walk like, thought like, and it so that can throw you for a jar. But he put the work in, and he definitely inspired a generation of players that came after. Now, the things that work against him obviously is because he won his first three rings in his first four trips with Shaquille O'Neal, who was to me a better player. I don't care what nobody says. You can't teach size, you can't teach dominance, and you can't teach what Shaq was doing. Because before when you're going by their early starts of their career, Shaq was a better player. The first 2 or 3 years of Shaq's career compared to the first 2 or 3 years of Kobe's career, Shaq was a better player. And then in his time in LA, Shaq was the better player. And the first year in Miami, Shaq was the better player. So I would say Shaq had that edge. Kobe's work ethic, though, took him to another level, and he got better, and he got stronger, and he mental, and he took his game to another level. But generational, I'd say he was a generational type talent because Dwayne Wade aside, you really haven't seen another two guard. You've gotten flirts of them. You've had some guys that's come along that had athleticism. They had one side or something, but he was a freak of nature. Even if you emulate him, let's keep it 100. Kobe wasn't the first Michael Jordan impersonator, because you could always say Harold Miner, but he became the first Kobe Bryant. He did add layers to his game and wore two different numbers, and they both Hall of Fame careers. Ain't too many people doing that. So you got to get a man his due. That's generational. The work ethic alone, he put the work in. He made himself, believe me, that 18-year-old kid throwing them air balls against Utah was not the same dude that you saw at 36. Let's keep it 100. He definitely put the work in. So now, Steph Curry, one of the most even more polarizing than Kobe. I know you never think you hear anybody's more polarizing because you got the old heads of a certain generation who will go up and say magic, 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 and they can't stand the thought of Curry being mentioned as the greatest point guard. And then you got the older heads, the older heads who don't like his styling of the game. And then you got the era now where he took the position away, or everybody got to shoot a three. Everybody and their daddy and their trainer better shoot a parking lot three if they want to get on someone's court. That's just the rules. That's why Luka Doncic is so feared because he spots up. That's the Steph effect. Any turkey who doesn't say that Steph Curry isn't a generational talent ain't worth their salt and sand in basketball. And Gilbert Arenas should have his WNBA pension voided for saying that nonsense. How you gonna sit there and say Steph Curry and generational talent when everybody and their daddy and their uncle from now to Father's Day is gonna be doing a Steph Curry in the parking lot? Steph changed the game. And Shaquille O'Neal said something which at the time I thought was I kind of looked at and I had to think about it, but Shaq made a quote which is true. He's the most important player of the last 30 years and the most important player behind Michael Jordan in terms of the influence of the game. Because for his position to not only just be a deadly shooter from anywhere on the court, but take the positions out. Yeah, you hear people say they said small ball was over. They ain't the Dallas Mavericks in the finals. Don't Luca and Kyrie camp out on a perimeter? So make it make sense. Doesn't Boston shoot a lot of threes? Make it make sense. Steph Curry is Jason Tatum's daddy in basketball. That's who they want to anoint as the most important American player, and they haven't played for the Celtics. That's what it is. Keep it 100. So anyway, Gilbert Arenas is like Kanye West. He'll say some craziness. Some of that mess will stick. A lot of it you can't take serious. Grain of salt truths in there. But when we talking generational talent, we can debate who we think is, but you know the ones who really stand out. So please hit like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands, keep your mind clear. Watch out for another shitter if you like them all. Peace.